The Return of the King is the end of the trilogy, the actual massive old-fashioned three-volume, six-book novel that the books are the subsections that Tolkien has undertaken. The epic is over. The quest is over. I want to point out a few things. There's a lot of anticlimax here, especially in book six. By the end of the third chapter of book six, the quest of the ring itself is over, and we have, depending on your edition, another 85, 90, 100 pages to go. Tolkien got a slow start. He brings us to a slow, very gradual finish. Anticlimax is clearly part of the narrative strategy. The war is not over when the war ends. The war is not over when the war ends because the people who survive the war aren't ever going to be fully free from the consequences. All of our all of our heroes get traumatized one way or another, especially especially Frodo, but also Sam, also Mary to different degrees. People are going to feel a lot. People are going to come home from the war different, and the story isn't honest unless you talk about how the war changed those people, and not just for the better. That their sacrifice continues. Frodo is never gonna be fully whole and hale again. He's just not. Sam kind of is. Um, I would point out that our last two sections, book five and book six, each begin and end with the same Hobbit point of view. Book five opens and closes in Pippin's point of view. As scholars have noticed, Tolkien tends to put his viewpoint in the lowest information of the protagonist, the one who knows least, who is like us, needs to have the most explained to him. Book six opens and closes in Sam's viewpoint. Sam is the kind of viewpoint champion here. Um, we're gonna see, we're gonna see, we're gonna see, and frankly, our boys are not up to the task. Aragorn is going to win Minas Tirith. When he goes in the offense, he's putting out a good show. He knows that he's just a distraction. He's just a feint. He's he's correct. He's even righter than he knows. There's a moment at the end of book five where Aragorn and his army are about to be overwhelmed. Actually, what happens on Mount Doom bails Aragorn out. He's getting Frodo's back. Frodo has his back mostly. Um, But it's made very clear that Aragorn's own war, his army, his force of arms would not succeed. You cannot beat Sauron this way. It's important to note Frodo also fails. He doesn't quite succeed in what he came out to do. It is not enough. He got the ring to Mount Doom. He's overwhelmed by it. He can't throw it in. It is Gollum's intervention that to leads both to even more literal physical trauma for Frodo, which, because this is the way Tolkien's worked, is presented as a diminished echo of a grander story. The great hero Beren, who people keep talking about, a Beren and Luthien, um, lost a whole hand to a big bad who was even bigger than Sauron. Frodo's going to lose a finger. Like Beren and Luthien have their great elf and human love story. Aragorn and Arwen are going to have that too. Oh, we're going to get also in the hour-long anticlimax. We're going to get the love story. Oh, Arwen's fiance is going to show up, and he's been engaged all along for decades, actually. And if you're on a reread, you can see that is mentioned various times indirectly, but first time through, most people miss it till it shows up. You can get the full love story in the appendices. Frodo doesn't make it. Frodo doesn't have it in him to throw the ring into Mount Doom. He didn't have it in him to throw it into his own fireplace back in chapter 2 of book 1, so it shouldn't be a surprise. What is asked of him is not success. Sacrifice is better. Like, Providence is moving things forward. Aragorn is not enough. Frodo is not enough. Frodo and Sam together are not enough. Gandalf is not enough. There's There's a critical trope that I don't like about this, where various critics try to argue who is the real hero, and they'll make a case for Aragorn or Sam or whoever. It's always not Frodo. If there's one hero, it's Frodo. But here's the other thought: trying to figure out who is the singular main hero of this trilogy is making a terrible mistake. It's making a category error. Tolkien doesn't believe in a singular hero. It's not all about one person. He doesn't. He's it's not like that. Why isn't it Gandalf? Because it's not. Because it's nobody. None of us are big enough to overcome a power as awful as Sauron, a fundamentally theological evil. Everybody succeeding in part and failing in part is enough. And here's the other thing: Frodo's heroism is not based on his success. Frodo's heroism is based on what he tried to do. That he didn't have it in him to succeed does not diminish his achievement. His achievement, the grand plan turned out to be he got the ring to Mount Doom, so destiny could take its course. He needed to get it there. That turns out to have been the mission all along. He had another mission that he couldn't do. In the process, he succeeded in the thing he could.